guys, and welcome back to another episode of Trials and Tribulations. I am so excited for this episode today. We have the one and only
Tyler J. Smith.
Thank you so much for being here today. I have been looking forward to this episode for so long. We have so much to talk about.
Oh my gosh. I know. I'm thank goodness it's you, because I wouldn't know where to start. We have so much to talk about.
So let's talk about how we first met, because that was super fun.
Go
ahead.
Fun. Okay, so was that the online TV show,
Yeah.
The Shot,
Mm-hmm.
and we were both judges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned about, let's talk about your history, because
Oh my God. How much time do we have?
I know, right? When we were doing The Shot,
Yeah.
everything that you said, I was like, she's my person. I was just jiving with you so much, and you're so knowledgeable, and my eyes, like when I met you, I was like, she's my person. I need to work with her in some capacity, because I was so, I think the first message I said to you was, I'm like, I want you to be my like mentor. And
I was so honored, and then I started talking to you, and I'm like, no, you're gonna be my mentor. And then it's like, okay, let's be
each other's mentors.
Yeah,
Okay.
And hence,
yeah,
here we are today.
Let's go back to your history. So tell everybody who you are, your background, all that fun stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was born into a musical family. My dad was a musician. So I grew up with, a lot of different environments, because my mom was a teacher. So it was this, changing worlds of being on the road with my dad. He was with Bob Dylan and Earth, Wind and Fire for a while, and all these really incredible musicians, and we knew Quincy Jones and all this kind of stuff. And then my mom is the most grounded, kind, like, not that my dad wasn't kind, but just like this really grounded human. So I was straddling these two worlds. And then growing up, I thought, well, I want to be a singer. I mean, who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And I went to Humber College. I studied music. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. So the private plane, the hotel suites, the entourage, that's not going to happen, at least not for a while. And I thought, no, I can't. So I switched then from being a performer to being behind the scenes, and started managing other artists, and including a television chef. And it was a really, really great run. Got a little tired of the travel, so I took a sabbatical and I got my corporate communications, which was so different than entertainment. And I'm so glad it did, because it really helped to round out my experience in marketing. And I worked for some non-for-profits, and I've worked with some incredible brands, including Starbucks, and just really got a wealth of experience outside of music as well. Is that enough? Or
Because
I could go on.
You can go on and on. No, I feel like that gives the audience a really good impression of who you are and everything that you've accomplished. Plus, there's so much more that we didn't even get into.
Well, TikTok, yes.
But so let's talk about this current project that you're working on. You have this crazy obsession with habit tracking.
Yes, I do.
So tell me.
Yes, I do.
I was like, that's an exclusive. I don't know, but she's obsessed.
I am a little obsessed with habits and habit changing and tracking, and it came because I've done so many transitions in my life. And when you do a transition, it feels like everything comes with its own habits or things that you need to implement to be successful at it. So I became very adept at change. I mean, growing up, I lived in, I think, 4 different countries.
Oh my God.
So, and I had to learn French and German and all these. So I was sort of used to habits. When I opened my multi-level marketing business and I started working with teams, I began to realize that people were not as receptive to change as maybe I was. And I really wanted to help people, right? Because I had been coaching and helping people for a long time. And I thought, what can I do to help people implement changes into their income producing, that part of their life, right? Because, we want to make money. And that's where I came up with the habit tracker and how to make that sort of work in terms of building an income.
So is it fair to say, like, if you have a habit tracker, because like we have them here,
Yes.
And do you think if this is like, because you said it's mostly about income and like
Yes.
multi-level marketing,
Yeah.
we'll talk about all the ones
Yes.
you have later,
Yes.
but if they do this, do you think it gives them like kind of like a concept so they can do this for every day of their life?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, you know, we have a habitual way of being, right? Habits are learned, whether they're learned from your parents or whether, you know, school or whatever. Habits are learned. And the great thing about a habit is they can be unlearned.
And how long does it take to break a habit?
Well, you know, I've heard, you know, instantaneously, if it's a traumatic event, such as unfortunately 9/11, say, for instance, or something in your family, or over a period of time, could be 30 days, could be 120 days. It really depends on which scientific paper you're reading, because people have all kinds of opinions. I do feel like if you're changing 2 small habits a month and you're really focusing on it, so you're repeating that great habit, you're aware of that great habit, you can pretty much adapt it within about 30 days if you're really focused on it.
So a lot of people say like people don't change, and you've talked about that before. You're like, oh, you've realized that a lot with hold on.
Well, yeah, people do change, and they have to change, or else we'd all be teenagers.
Right.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people are saying when they say people don't change, it's because they're being closed-minded and they're not open to having the knowledge and the tools to be able to change.
Oh, well, you know, when I hear that expression, people don't change, it hurts my soul. Because if you think about how you were when you were a teenager, I'm hoping that you're not the
you're
same.
Changing.
Right? You're always changing. You're always evolving. I think that the difference is to make a focused and concentrated change.
Yeah.
Like, I am going to work out 3 times a week for half an hour for the rest of my life. Okay, wow. How do I do that?
Yeah.
Right? And you do that one day at a time and build accountability for yourself.
And that's, see,
right?
You've connected all my dots. You're perfect. So with this accountability, you also have an accountability tracker.
That's right.
In this.
That's right.
And
That's right.
You're going to be launching this soon. There's going to be so many different types. So you have one for multi-level marketing.
That's correct.
You have one for students.
Yes, yes.
What other ones
yes.
do you have?
Yes, we're looking at, you can open it if you'd like. We're looking at the
I was like, I've never seen one before.
That's so funny. Coaching for coaches.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who are doing such great work coaching people into their success. So I want to help them build their income and healthy income producing activities. And we're looking at we've got makeup artists. We have a few different things that we're looking at. But essentially, if there's a need, I want to make sure that we're filling it.
I kind of want to just like show as I'm looking.
Yes,
So like this is adorable. So you have like these little rulers. You have.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain like this dot thing.
Yeah.
Because that's different.
It's different. So I have incredibly bad handwriting.
Okay.
I think it's because I was supposed to be left-handed, but I was made to write with my right hand, so my writing, no one could read it. So when you write on a straight line, it really, it forces you to do things that maybe you're naturally not, and it looks really messy. The dot system, however, allows you to be more creative while being less messy. And it's an odd thing, but I've tried it. Trust me, it absolutely works. And the rulers that come with it help you to be neater, as well as, because there's 2 rulers, you put 1 ruler as a bookmark on your habit tracker page.
Okay.
And then 1 ruler on your daily page.
And we were talking about accountability.
Yes.
So let's talk about
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Because I know people, for me, like when I work out, I'm like, I need somebody to go
Yes,
with.
yes.
Or when I'm doing, I use Headspace for my meditation.
Yeah.
And the more they have like a run streak, and then they give you rewards
Yes.
based on how, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And they have a lot of really cool accountability things. So
Yeah.
what accountability do you have for when people want to purchase this book?
Yeah. So we have a lot of accountability built in. I just want to show you the habit tracker page. So the habit tracker page is really special because this is where you decide which new habits that you would like to implement. And we're suggesting that you only implement 2 per month. So here we have our habit tracker page. And for every day that you successfully implement your new habit, you check off the box or put a
Amazing.
star or a dot or whatever you
Yeah.
want, right? And then at the end of the month, these 2 habits, it should be lit up,
Yeah.
right? So you can instantly
See the reward and gratification of your work.
Exactly. And because we like to work in partners, you can take a picture of this page and send it to your accountability partners.
Amazing.
So because I have skewed this particular first book for direct sellers and multi-level marketing, they can send it to their team, right? And say, okay, so we're going to reach out to 3 prospects a day or clients a day or whatever have you. And then that's going to be one of our habits as a group. So what's so brilliant about this, sorry if I do say so myself,
Well, you are brilliant.
you know what we say, necessity, because, I was there. So on our daily pages, then, we have repeated some of these habits and goals. So you can also take a picture of your daily page and send it to your accountability partner to see if you've each done what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
So we have lots of ways that we've built in accountability to help us with that income producing activity, IPA, income producing activity.
And what would you say is the biggest myth with habits and accountability that may intimidate people? Why is your product so different, and why do you recommend your product?
Well, first of all, I think in terms of a biggest myth is that change needs to be hard. And I disagree with that. I think it's a mindset, right? And the system helps you with your mindset. So your paradigm, or the way you think about yourself, the way you think about change. So we also have a 8-module course that they can take. So I really want to solidify that learning for people because I want people to be successful. So you take the course and you go through the lessons and you learn how to write a strong why and your intention statement and your goal statement. And then you transfer that to the book. And in the book, there's actually a section, both yearly and monthly, where you're talking about, and we're calling this the Success Builder because we are building success, where you can talk about your why, your intention, and your goals, right?
And this is perfect, I think, for people that feel like they have no purpose and they're in a stage of their life where they're like, well, what next? And I feel like people have so many ideas and things going on, and this is a perfect way to funnel their vision.
That's right. So helping people to get focused on their income producing activities and helping them with their confidence, right?
Yeah.
Because if maybe the first couple of days you might feel kind of awkward, like I can't do this, what am I doing? But if you look back now over the month at your habit tracker page and you see, oh my gosh, I've now done this for 20 days.
Yeah.
Right? That success breeds more success. And that's really what this system is about, is helping you with that success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, there's so many questions that I have, but let's start off with, people always say they don't have time.
Yeah.
So let's just kibosh that.
Yeah.
What can you tell to people who are intimidated or fearful, and people love to use excuses?
Oh, for sure. For sure. And again, that is based a lot of our own fears. So our fears of maybe you've tried to do something before and it
Feeling
didn't
a
work.
failure.
And that's right. And we even have, fear of success.
Yeah.
Like come on, fear of failure, fear of success, imposter syndrome, all those things, those lies that we have built into, right? We've believed. it's time to let that go. And the way to let that go is just to add healthy habits. So rather than focus on getting rid of a habit, I like to think about adding healthy habits, because when you're adding those healthy habits, there's no room for those other habits, right?
Yeah, and I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Because I can totally connect with people that I'm terrified of being successful, but I'm also terrified of not being successful.
Yes.
I'm also terrified that people are going to look at me who've known me from before and they're like, what is she doing?
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
It's a lot.
Absolutely. You know, family.
Like,
girl, I've seen you with no makeup on, and now look at you, please. You know. Yeah.
That's because of your number one.
Yeah. So, that's completely normal. Everybody has that. Just gotta let that go and start doing the healthy habits that you need to build your income, like the goal, your dreams.
Yeah. And I think it's really important that we are opening up about that all dreams can be attainable.
Yes.
And I know when I raise my children, I even tell like my followers, I'm like, follow your soul. It's so important.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that like we got to connect on this, because when you like brought this to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to talk about success building.
Yes.
Because I think we're done with that whole stage of saying, like, especially for women, that we have to do a certain thing and be a certain way. And like, why can't everybody be their best selves?
That's right. And really discovering your why, you know, around your purpose. Like, why do you want to be successful? And it might be the Louis bag or the Chanel and all of that stuff.
Which
is
like
lovely. Oh, my wink and a nod.
Yeah.
My wink and a nod to Chanel. It comes in white and blue. And it just might be that, but more than likely not, it's going to be. I would like for my family to travel and experience different cultures. I would like my kids to be able to go to the college or university of their choice. You know, something that you really connect with.
And there can be more than one why?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So once you set your goals and you set your income producing activity, and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to go to that event tonight. I really don't want to talk to that prospect. Oh gosh, I'm terrified of, you know, standing up and making a presentation. Go back to your why, right? And think about, well, if I want to send my kids to that school, then I'm gonna have to get over my whatever it is about reaching out to that prospect or, you know, making that presentation. So having a strong why and really working that why until it's connecting with you is really important. And we do that in the course that also comes with the book.
So talk about the course.
Yeah. The course, so I teach. I am a part-time college professor, and I love teaching. Oh my goodness, I don't want to get teary because of my makeup, but I love teaching. You know, there's something about seeing that look in your students' eyes when they get it. You know, and I also teach goal setting as part of, I teach marketing, but you know, marketing is setting a goal and achieving it. Yeah. So I teach goal setting to my students. It's one of the first things that we do in the first weeks. And I had a student come up to me and said, I've never set goals for myself. Thank you so much. And I just thought, oh my goodness, my stomach. Like, you know. So that was sort of one of my first ahas is how can I help people to believe in themselves enough to set a goal and then achieve it. So the course really is around goal setting, looking at what you want to achieve, and then building a system for achieving it. So, you know, you don't need to take the course if you buy the book. However, it's really great, especially for teams, for doing team training, to be able to solidify all of that good, the why, the intention statement, the goals, and the good habits.
And I'm going to take a step back from like talking like strictly about the book, because I really want people to kind of understand on a personal level as well too. Because I know for me, I was a people pleaser my whole entire life. How I lived my life was based on what I was taught and what I thought I wanted.
Yeah.
So I feel if people are going to resonate with what I'm saying, is I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, actually, I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
I don't know who I am.
Yeah, that's right.
And so what advice would you give for people like me, that I'm finally at a stage in my life where I'm at the age of 30, but I'm finding myself all over again. And I know, like, I talk to my producer all the time. I always look at him at every episode. And I'm like, he's like, well, what do you want? And I was like, I have never been asked that question.
Yeah.
Truly, I've never been asked that.
Oh, for
so
sure.
what advice can you give for people like us?
Well, the goal exercises I think are really important, and allowing yourself to dream. See, everything that you have currently is everything that you're comfortable with, right?
Okay.
So if you think about a circle, or I sometimes do a heart. So you have your house, your car, your kids, your, whatever you currently have inside that heart or circle is your comfort zone, right? If you'd like to make a change, you're going to need to start coloring outside of those lines, right? And bring more of those things that you would love to have, but up until now, your paradigm or your habitual way of thinking and being has said, oh, you can't have that.
You're not enough. Or
who
do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like, I'm already thinking that when you're just, and I was like, I can't have that life. Who am I to have that life?
Exactly. And sometimes it's our teachers or parents or, whoever, we have that voice.
The inner voice.
Right? Going through our head. But it's really a matter of bringing stuff into your comfort zone. And again, I don't like to say get rid of things. I like to add things so that there's no space for all that other stuff. Yeah.
And because of all your successes, you've obviously had your lows too that have brought you to where you are now.
Yeah.
So I always ask this with all my guests.
Yes.
Like, what is your biggest trial and tribulation that have brought you to like where we're sitting today? That's a loaded question.
Only
you can
one?
give me as many as you want.
And it's a half hour? Well, there are so many. I would say this particular chapter, pun intended, in my life, I had I was in a lot of pain. I had an undiagnosed condition. I went undiagnosed for a long time, and I've always been, since I was about 16, really into health and wellness, and just couldn't figure it out. Finally, after 10 years of being in pain, I was diagnosed with atypical endometriosis, and led to a lot of different surgeries and major surgery. And the effects of the hormone effects and all kinds of things were just horrible. And I've typically been a pretty happy, bouncy kind of person, and it really brought me to a low point. I wouldn't say I was clinically depressed, but I certainly wasn't happy and shiny. And then I hurt my back. So I was not happy and shiny, and I couldn't get out of bed.
Which is not helpful.
Which is not helpful for the mood. And then I put on close to 50 pounds, and I'm 5'2". So I just felt like really kind of, not hopeless, but just for the first time, I think, in my life, just like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get over this? And one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about the direct seller and multi-level marketing business, because it was around that time that I had been using these products anyway, that a friend introduced me to the business side. And it was being around that quality, high vibe people, that those possibility thinkers that really
like-minded.
Yes, it started to lift me out of that. And then I was watching in an interview with Admiral McCraven, and he was doing a commencement speech, and he said, you know, if you want success, here's your simple idea: make your bed first thing in the morning.
Yes.
Right?
It's silly, but
yes.
if you make your bed, that's
yes.
one thing that you've accomplished
yes.
out of your day.
That's exactly it. So I thought, well, I'm in the bed a lot because of my back, but I knew I had to get moving. So I got myself a physiotherapist, and I started making my bed, and one thing led to another, and I just became obsessed with building better habits, just being a better version of me. And that was, I don't know, like 2.5, 3 years ago. And then I started applying what I was coaching for my clients when I was doing a lot of marketing coaching to myself. Hello.
It's funny because, like, I know people like you've reached out to me. I have tons of people who reach out to me as well, and I can give out all this advice, but yet I have my wonderful Zach, who every day he was like, you literally tell people to do this.
Yes.
You get paid to do it for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you do it for yourself?
Oh, well.
And we've talked about that.
There's so many reasons why. I think I've come to the point where it almost doesn't matter why, right? The key is, and I've written this in the course booklet, is, you know, as Nike said, just do it, right? You're not going to want to,
no,
but it doesn't matter. Just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And that was what got me going, is one success after a little success after a little. Then I got the job teaching, and that really spurred me on because I was doing something that I love to do, and being around high vibe people really helps. And then getting my physical fitness, losing most of the weight, and
you look great.
Thank you. I'm almost there. And you know, so it's just one really really healthy habit after another, and building that success.
I love that.
Thank you.
And I've spoken to, again, so many people that are truly successful in different ways, on trials and tribulations, and all of you have said is getting out of that comfort zone, taking the risks, doing things, just going after it. And it's scary, and you are put in situations that you have to, it's all about growing. And I think that's really exciting. And somebody told me fear and excitement is the same, like, same feeling.
Yeah. The other thing is fear and faith, right? They're both invisible. You can't see the fear and you can't see the faith, right? But they still require the same type of belief. You can either believe in fear or you can believe in faith, which is going to be.
Yeah.
I personally would prefer faith.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to work at it and put in the effort. And that's what this habit tracker is for, is deciding what it is you need to do and then being accountable for it and doing it.
And I'm going to kind of initiate an uncomfortable topic, so I'm going to give you a heads up.
Yeah.
But mental health is being very talked about. It's a lot of people are opening up about it.
Yes.
I know for a lot of people who do have mental health, this is a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to be discouraged.
Yeah.
So how are you able to relate to people that have mental health, that want to move forward, that want to get out of their depression, that want to say, hey, you know what, I've been diagnosed with this, but I'm not going to let that stop me. Because they have this inner want to take control over their lives.
Yeah.
So how can we relate to them?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously this is no substitute for anything that a medical professional would suggest. So I had been testing the student version because working for with students for 3 years, I have seen patterns.
Yeah.
And, you know, kids that should be doing really well are not doing as well as they could be simply because of their habits. So I have been testing the student version for almost a year now. And the testing has also been on people who have suffered from anxiety. What we're discovering is this book helps to lessen the anxiety. Why? Because you know what you're going to do when you wake up. You know what you're going to do to get the success that you want, right? And if you know that, if you know, well, if I have an exam on, 2 weeks from now, I'm going to go in and I'm going to write
Exam.
right, and then you're going to backtrack 2 weeks and you're going to go start gathering information. Then you're going to go to the next page, start studying for exam, whatever.
Yeah.
And because it's right there, you don't have to think about it now. You don't have to be anxious about it. You don't have to be worrying about it because it's right there.
And for people who are procrastinators, this is like going to be their new Bible.
Precisely. And if you have a study partner, then this is great because you take a picture of your page and you say, did you do this?
Yeah.
Right?
And it's all about the accountability that we talk.
And then, so we're building accountability both from a personal level and then with the partner accountability partner level. So there's a lot of ways to stay accountable with this system. You could show it to your counselor, your teacher. You could build out the system with somebody else.
Like even your medical professional can help.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You can write in your medication days, like whatever. Make it yours. And that's another thing I really like about the DOT system. You can it's because it's open. You can be creative. You can add stickers and you can take the ruler and you can draw things and sort of let that creativity out. And then also on each page you'll find an inspirational quote. So every page has an inspirational quote, right? 365. Plus every month page has an inspirational quote. We've also done the months, heritage months. The quotes are by that ethnicity. So we're very inclusive. So there's a lot of ways you can build accountability and comfort and lessen your anxiety with this book.
Amazing.
Thank
you so much for coming.
This
was so much fun, and I wish we had more time because we were always like, okay, we can't start
I
gabbing
know.
because we're the worst for that. Because we can talk all day.
Yes.
But before we leave, I would love for you just to kind of talk about where, because you have a website, maybe reach out and let them know your website, and maybe if you could give somebody like final words or advice to those viewers who are watching.
Yeah.
This is your platform to shine. Where can people learn all about you and find you, and what is like your last words that you would say?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for believing in the project.
Oh my gosh.
Supporting me through it. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
So your success guide .pro. Why? Because we are pros. So .pro, and you can find everything you need to get the book there. I would say, in terms of a lasting word, our tagline is your simple system for success. Success need not be as complicated as we're making it, right? Because you can build habits around that success. And yes, we all have, as we said, those inner voices that swirl around. They're telling us lies that we've believed. Let all of that go and just simplify it, I would say. Probably my best tip.
Thank you so much for being with me here today and just getting to know the details of the Success Planner and learning so much more about it. I hope that the viewers are going to totally relate, and it's a beautiful product and you're exquisite. So thank you so much for being with me here today.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for being with me here for another week, and stay tuned. We have another special guest next week. Thanks for watching, guys. It means the absolute world to me. Make sure you follow me on all the platforms at Kate Parker Official. And of course, the YouTube thing that everybody says. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear from you. What do you want to know more of? Who do you want to meet? I want you to be as much involved in this as I am. So stay tuned, and I'd love to hear back from you guys.